Hey everybody, welcome to Pages, Pictures, and Panels. I am your host, Tildian, aka Shannon Brabham, and I am with my co-host, Roach Boy Red.
Yo, yo.
Red, are you to the right of me, the left of me? Where are we set up at today so I can point to you the right way?
On my screen, you're to the left of me. So, point.
So
Yeah, that way.
awesome. I just wanted to get it on cue for the watchers. We are in the physical medium now, everybody. We have got it figured out. So we will still be providing audio podcast episodes for you guys as well, a bit more fleshed out, where we delve into things a little bit deeper and don't really worry about the time as much. But today we are back with another physical episode, and I'm excited. I love it. You see the logo in the background. Sorry, but I don't have my green screen yet, so I'm gonna phase in and out like I'm fucking the chick from Ant-Man 2, but it's cool. We're here. So what do we got today, Red?
I figure today we go on a deep dive into some what if, maybe some retrospective and a little bit of predictions.
Nice.
And a whole bunch of insane Doctor Strange leaks are going to be at the end. So stay tuned for that. But also, if you don't want spoilers for the full plot,
Yeah.
definitely you'll be able to tune out when we'll give a warning beforehand. But I
Awesome.
figure start things off. We did have some news in the past couple of days that Moon Knight actor Gaspard Uliel passed in a skiing accident.
Yeah.
He was actually slated for all 6 episodes of Moon Knight. He's playing Midnight Man, and that that kind of is. I personally don't know the actor. Like, I haven't seen him in anything, and I'm not the biggest Moon Knight fan, so that doesn't resonate as much with me. But as a Marvel fan and as an MCU fan, we lost an actor who was obviously slated for more appearances. So that causes more issues behind the scenes, more rewrites, and potential recastings, which he doesn't have the following and the love that Chadwick Boseman did. But
Yeah.
I'm sure after the Moon Knight series premieres and everything, I'm sure he will get love enough that it will kind of be hard to recast the character. But
Yeah.
honestly, more than that, like a human being died in a tragic skiing accident, and like this guy was like, I think they said 37. That's that's just fucking insane. That just sucks so bad.
It's horrible. It's tragic. Our condolences straight from Pages, Pictures, and Panels to the family, and to Marvel specifically because, as you said, rewrites, recasting, and most importantly, reshoots.
Hmm.
I'm doing it for this season, seeing as they wrapped shooting, but I think we're going to start seeing a lot of this recast stuff, especially with the multiverse. I think
Yeah.
there's going to be some time, right, to be able to recast people, or they're going to scale the character down to not have to appear as much in the next season or something. Who knows? But it is very tragic. And from the bottom of our hearts over here at Pages, Pictures, and Panels, big condolences to the family.
Rest in peace. Can't wait to see you in the series, though.
Absolutely, absolutely, to honor your memory. So rest in peace, Mr. Midnight Man. But moving forward, we have some other pretty exciting topics to talk about again. This is kind of part 2 from yesterday's episode. Yeah, man, I want to get into these strange leaks at the end of the episode. I'm very excited about that, but we will continuously give spoiler warnings throughout this. If you do not want to be spoiled on any potential plot leaks, tune out when we get to the strange segment. Tune right out. Catch up with us at Roach Boy Red's Corner for some great comic updates in history, or the Pro Wrestling Corner when it debuts at the end of this week. Don't listen to that. So with that being said, we're going to move forward. What do we got, Red?
All right, let's talk about what if. I know it was the least viewed Disney Plus show so far. It had some weird plot points and a little bit of some things that weren't like fleshed out as much as we had wanted, but I think it did wonders for the animation side of Marvel. Marvel does not have good cartoons. They've had good cartoons in the 90s, but ever since probably Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes was the cartoon that came out probably 2011, 2012. But that
Even before that, this Hulk versus was like the last great thing, and that was like '09 to me.
Yes. And yeah, ever since those came out, it really just was all downhill for Marvel Animation. But
Yeah.
yet again, the MCU, man. I thought What If was a great time overall. I thought it explored a lot of cool stories that I didn't expect. Like Who Killed the Avengers was such a good episode. Uh,
Yeah.
and the fact that it potentially set up a lot of bigger things for the MCU. We got potential Doctor Strange set up. We got Captain Carter set up. I've heard a lot of stuff about her being either in multiverse or
Yeah.
getting her own spin-off series, which would honestly be like a better version of Agent Carter.
Yeah. Pretty much. Pretty much. Which I did not like. I've heard both of those things, so that
But
sounds exciting.
but
If true.
Jarvis from Agent Carter is the only canonical part of that series that we've seen because
Yeah.
that's the Jarvis back in the 70s when they time traveled in Endgame. The one who gets the car for Howard and shit.
It was the same actor?
Yep.
Huh.
And like in my mind, that's comic Jarvis. Jarvis is a butler, not an AI. So like it was a great callback to the comics for sure.
I can dig it. I can definitely dig it.
But
Um,
what are your thoughts on the series as a whole?
um, honestly, I thought What If was very imaginative. It was fun. It was to me felt very comic book to me every week trying to read the next issue. It had me excited. A lot of those Disney Plus shows are like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was just it was fun, man. I loved it. I loved the openness of it, the non-structure. Anything could happen. A lot of these source stories I don't know. So like I'm not when they change things or switch things up or whatever. I I don't mind them, and that's just in the normal MCU. So walking into What If, that's where my mind is anyway. Getting to see like the differences and without spoiling things for people, the differences in Killmonger or Gamora or Thor, Captain Carter, and so on and so on. I just felt like that type of show could go on forever as long as they can look at the old tales of what's been there, because they can start to do what ifs not just for the MCU but for comic books, period, for the Marvel Comics world, period.
Yeah,
And
back in the 80s, they did a lot of what if stories, and they got pretty crazy. Like there's some where like one's what if one Punisher became Captain America, and like
wow,
shit like that goes off the wall. One of them, or I think the first issue is Spider-Man joins the Fantastic Four.
he has like the bag on his head. Yeah,
Yeah, Bombastic Bagman is what he goes by. But overall, there are definitely high points and low points. Personally, I felt the low points of the season were the T'Challa Star-Lord episode, sadly. It just felt like him as a character was such a Mary Sue. He had nothing wrong with him. He never failed. He didn't know how to fail. And the plot as a whole was kind of weak. I hated the Collector being the big bad. Like, if
yeah,
Thanos is out of the way, if Hela's out of the way, if all these big cosmic entities are out of the way, where the fuck is Galactus? You're telling me somewhere like fucking the Collector is going to be the fucking overarching cosmic baddie? Like, there's no way. Even Doctor Doom, an Earthbound character, still
yeah.
would be a better cosmic baddie than him.
Be a bit more menacing. Uh, yeah, that episode was a bit waning, but like I said, just for me, the imaginativeness of it, like seeing T'Challa in a different light, was awesome.
And
I like Star. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I loved about it. Like, it actually was a change. Like, Captain Carter was pretty much the Captain America movie with her.
Yeah,
It had some changes to it, but T'Challa Star-Lord was not Guardians. It was not Black Panther. It was its own story with these characters.
yeah, and it was fun. It was fun seeing Thanos be all like fucking kumbaya. It was dope. Like I
I
don't
always
know, it was
thought
just
T-shirt Thanos, man.
bro. Fucking Nebula had hair.
And definitely fuck T'Challa. Like, what is it with Star-Lords and wanting to bang the daughters of Thanos, bro?
It's written in the stars, brother.
Uh,
Like,
it was cool that Kurt Russell came back for that episode too. He only had one line at the end of the episode, but he actually did his own line for it.
insane.
Uh,
The if was great. I think the second half was like stellar and monumental for the MCU with storytelling. It's crazy.
I think parts of it felt weird, like Zombies. Zombies was a weird episode to me. It was a good time, but it wasn't a great time. And like, I'm excited to see what happens with. I know we got confirmation of an upcoming Marvel Zombie series. We don't know if it's a spin-off or if it's like based off the comics more. I really hope it's based off the comics more because that is some dark Marvel Universe shit. In that story, like Tony Stark, for example, hides from the zombies in his Iron Man armor so long that the battery power dies out in the suit and he just suffocates to death. Like,
Oh,
it is dark, dark. Zombies eat
did
their way out of Bruce Banner's stomach.
they didn't even use anybody from that story, did they?
Mm-mm.
Final Avengers, nobody from that universe was part of them. The
Nope.
multiverse Avengers.
That's what
That's weird.
weirded me out is like I guess Doctor Strange is the person from our universe because even America Chavez is in it, but she's from a different universe herself. But
It's weird.
overall, best episode was, in my opinion, hands down, no contest. If Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands, that was one of the most emotional, compelling stories in the MCU for me personally. And like,
Yeah.
it was crazy because at that point, I liked the Doctor Strange movie a lot, but I didn't like it wasn't top tier for me. But after rewatches, that movie definitely is. I was sadly mistaken. But like, nah, I never expected What If to actually hit me emotionally. But like, towards the end of him just doing over the death of Christine, like that shit made me like shed a little fucking manly tear. Like that was some
Shit was
deep shit for a cartoon. Like it
yeah,
was amazing. That
def-
Who Killed the Avengers was a great episode.
yeah,
Uh Hank Pym is always a genuine threat. Ant-Man is a threat and nobody understands it most of the time.
yeah.
Past Thanos asshole exploding memes. But but also, Marvel loves shafting Hank Pym. They made him a woman beater in the comics. They made him crazy and addicted to the Pym particles in the comics. Like, he is current. I don't know if currently, I don't keep up with it as heavily right now, but at one point he was fused with Ultron and was like a cosmic level psycho. It was, it got bad. So, like, Marvel Comics, for some reason, someone in the writer's room has an issue with Hank Pym that they need to address.
They're just like, fuck that guy.
Yeah, fucking every time Tony Stark saw him after fucking he hit Jan, like he just goes like, "Don't you have a wife to beat? Get the fuck out of my face," and shit like that. And like he's never recovered from being a woman beater. And it was one time, and it was in the writing, it was never stated he was a woman beater. The artist took
Yeah,
the liberties when drawing the panels and actually like just made him accidentally smack her, like kind of Tobey Maguire, Kirsten Dunst and her in Spider-Man 3. And
yeah.
like, and he just forever was labeled a woman beater just from a fucking panel that was out of context.
Toby is too. That's why he told fucking Andrew it's complicated, but we made it work. Yeah, because you fucking smacked around that coffee shop while Felicia, or
Oh,
it wasn't when Stacy was there.
yeah. Let's talk about that scene for a second because that man full force rage smacked Mary Jane and she was alive. She was conscious. How is that possible?
He throws his full forearm. Ah! He's fucking. She
Legit
goes.
rails her shit with a fucking spinning backhand. Like, Spider-Man 2 was kind of the most drawn out with that. Like, he was hammering on Doc Ock's face the entire movie and was not killing this man somehow. But that
Yeah.
scene is easily the most confusing how did he not kill someone moment. Because, like, in the comics, Peter's first kill was he accidentally backhands an old lady through a car and kills her. And it would have been that exact moment if this was the comic.
That shit. I mean, I don't know, man. There was a lot of moments like that for me. Even with like the scene in Spider-Man 3 in the beginning where Harry's like chasing him on the fucking glider and he hits that pipe. That I don't give a shit what serum you have. You're fucking dead.
He
Dead.
hit not just that pipe. He hit that pipe, like 3 more pipes, a dumpster, and the road.
Yeah, he's dead, bro. His head was like gashed open. He's done. Like he's fucking done.
Yeah,
I
that
don't know. I
was
have but like a cinema sin style video for that movie because I was just watching it just maybe 3 days ago, and a couple times, even just like with him taking him to the hospital, I'm like, did you take his? You took his fucking suit. How did he get his suit back?
right. Like you just stripped this
It,
man butt ass naked, kick ass style, and took him to the hospital.
and then took his shit to Bernard and was like, hey man, wash this up for fucking Gobby Jr. I don't know. Just weird.
Watch this up for Act 3.
Yeah. So make sure he's ready to kick my ass later or help me kick their ass. Like, I don't know, that was just weird. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we got a little sidetracked, I guess, but I love talking about Spider-Man, so I'm always down. But
Word.
what if, as a whole, I thought it was a great time. They did some fun episodes. They did some tense episodes. They even had a cool team up the last 2 episodes with Ultron. They
Yep.
they fixed Ultron. I
Yeah.
love James Spader as Ultron in the Age of Ultron, but he was not the comic accurate representation. And this Ultron was scheming, robotic. He was analytic. Like he cut down Thanos the second he saw him. He knew it was up. It was
Yeah.
very well done.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I had an issue with in that part was the Infinity Crusher that was meant to destroy Infinity Stones and then just didn't work on that universe's stones. I feel like
Yeah.
that was going to be explained in what all there's a Gamora episode that was cut and is going to be most likely in the 2nd season. We'll talk about
Yeah.
that afterwards, but I think that was going to be kind of covered in there and given a backstory more. But
Yeah.
overall, it was great. Shout out to New Rockstars. They've been calling the return of Arnim Zola for like fucking years. Ever since
Yeah.
Winter Soldier, they were like, bro, he got blown up, but he's not dead. He's not dead. He'll be back. And like, it always was a running gag on that page. But
Yeah.
no, Arnim Zola came back and beat a fucking multiversal level Ultron.
Oh yeah, he came back just to kick some ass. Gotta love it. Gotta shout out to Arnim Zola.
Yeah, man. Toby Jones did a great job as that character.
Mm-hmm. Iconic portrayal.
All right, so your final thoughts on the series, I guess, before we jump into some speculation.
I give that shit 4 thumbs up. I loved it. Great ride. I think that it is my top 2 favorite MCU Disney Plus shows as far as keeping me interested goes.
I can agree with that.
Yep,
Yeah, definitely.
How about you?
I think outside of WandaVision, it was, like you said, it was the most gripping for me. I think it was probably top 3 in my favorites, but after Hawkeye, man, Hawkeye is number 2 behind WandaVision. It's going to be really hard to ever beat that show, but Hawkeye and What If both have come close to that for me. Not beating it, but on the same level as that. And I definitely feel like I'm excited for season 2. I'm excited to see what they do. And I guess with that, that's a good lead in for us to talk about. First, I want to discuss the scrapped episode. We noticed in the team up episode with Ultron, Gamora is randomly there, and we see her backstory where she gets summoned from Sakaar, where Tony Stark is there with some crazy Sakaran Hulkbuster armor. That was actually supposed to be an episode, and based on the timeline, it seemed like it would have fit really well between Killmonger and Thor, because Ultron shows up at the end of Thor. But and that was apparently supposed to be an episode where like they shut down Thanos, and instead of Hulk getting stranded on Sakaar, it was her, and Hulkbuster Iron Man was like her Thor. So it was supposed to be a retelling of Ragnarok with them as the buddy cop duo instead. And
Yeah.
That sounds so fun. Ragnarok was so fun. If it keeps any of those vibes, that would have been. I can't wait. I hope that's in season 2 still. Uh,
Mhm.
and I think that would have better fleshed out that Gamora, which wasn't bad. I liked that Gamora more than Guardians Gamora actually. She felt more
Yeah,
like her comic portrayal to me, and I loved it. But I feel like it would have fleshed out the Infinity Crusher, which was a big issue in that. Like, it just felt like a plot device, and then when it didn't work, you were like, what was the point of writing that in if they were just gonna rip his helmet off and shoot him in the eye?
yeah.
But
I didn't Rusher or like just that whole episode that they cut, like the little parts they sprinkled in. I don't really know much about it, so it wasn't like I missed it because I didn't know about it. But I will say that that version of Tony interested me highly. I wanted to see it. It kind of looked like a Hulkbuster costume. Um,
yeah,
I want to see about that. And yeah, the Gamora Killer of Thanos armor she had on was fucking crazy. Like, she was dope. I want to see it. I'm very excited for season 2. If that's what they're going to give us for episode 1, that would be dope. But
and did you notice that that's actually Thanos' armor that she
yeah,
wears? Yeah, that's it. That's so cool to me. Like, Thanos didn't wear
shit,
that armor enough in the movies for me, and it's cool to see someone else at least put it to use if he wasn't gonna.
shit is so fucking cool.
But another thing I want to talk about before we get into some predictions for season 2 or
Yeah.
speculation, uh, do you think the villainous Doctor Strange in Multiverse of Madness is Strange Supreme?
Strange Supreme, aka I like to call him Doctor Strange. Um, yes, I believe he is. I don't know if he's necessarily that exact same guy. Now, like, I think he is that character, but maybe a variant of him, because the last time that we saw Doctor Strange, I like to call him, he was kind of imprisoned, yeah, with the Watcher and like watching over that whole deal from the
Yeah,
end
he
of
was
what if.
watching over the Killmonger Arnim Zola orb.
You got to think if that's him, we're definitely getting the Watcher, correct? We have to.
I'm honestly praying we get a Washer appearance in Multiverse of Madness. His
Yeah,
portrayal was great. Jeffrey Wright was great, and I think making a big CGI version of that would look
yeah.
amazing. Based on how they did the Celestials, they can do the Watcher really well.
Like, imagine him just popping up and like snatching up Doctor Strange, like, oh shit, my bad. He got loose, my bad. He
And
was
like
supposed to be here.
I have heard plot leaks, spoiler alert, that
Yeah.
Strange from the trailer is not in the movie that much.
So what?
Yeah,
He pops up. My bad, dude.
yeah. So it's definitely I
Ah,
I would love for it to be Strange Supreme. I think it would be cool. He absorbed that tentacle monster in episode 4, and
yeah,
I think it would be so cool if that was Shumagarath or Gargantos, whatever they're calling him. Uh, and he was the villain of Multiverse of Madness as Shumagarath, or at least an emissary slash like host of Shumagarath.
yeah.
But aside from that, we'll get back into the Doctor Strange talk momentarily. But I do want to cover what do you think, or do you have any predictions or ideas for plots for season 2 of What If?
Um, yes. What if big one? What if Doctor Strange couldn't close the multiverse in No Way Home? I think it's going to be a lot of No Way Home what ifs. What if Mary Jane actually died? Uh, what if they didn't forget Peter? Maybe these are just some spitballing. Um, what if Shang-Chi failed and the Mandarin won? Uh, what else? I think it's going to be set in a lot of Phase 4 stuff. Um, what if the sacrifice was different? Like, what if Hawkeye sacrificed himself on Vormir
I
and
actually
not?
have I actually have that one on my list in my notes.
Yeah, the big one in my head. I'm just thinking like, oh man, like what the fuck? I think through What If, we're also going to finally get to see, most importantly, my biggest point with What If season 2 speculation. I'm willing to bet my bank on it that we finally get to see what happens when Steve took the Soul Stone back to Vormir.
I really hope so, man. And if nothing else, give us like how they're doing Spider-Man freshman year. Give us a cartoon with Chris Evans voicing Cap, where he
Call it
goes
Steve.
through that journey.
And just call it Steve or
Yeah,
Steve Rogers.
that'd be so cool. I would love it. But
So good. Him journeying through the time to return the stones.
that'd be amazing. So I have some ideas here. Well, first
Yeah.
I did write the what if Black Widow survived and Hawkeye died. I think that would set the tone a lot different for the final battle. I think Black Widow would have been way more useful. She wouldn't have just run around and got blown up the whole time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that'd be cool. Gamora, the deleted episode, I do obviously got to add that in as a prediction for the second season. And
Yeah.
the big one, I think, is we have to get some type of repercussions for the Watcher breaking his oath. I think there has to be like a trial of the Watcher or trial of Uatu by the other Watchers. And like,
Yeah.
I think that would be cool if they continued that overarching story and didn't just go to like completely to a new set. Like that, I think that would be interesting. And
Yeah.
my left field thought for a prediction: give us a what if episode based in the Foxverse or the Sonyverse.
Well, I think we'll get that. I also think that maybe, just maybe, we start getting our first hints of Galactus through What If.
I would love that. I know in one of our previous episodes I said I fucking spitballed a random theory about Galactus being multiversal instead of cosmic.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, What If or Doctor Strange would be a great place to introduce him. So, I mean, cool.
The only, really, if you think about it, I mean, I think every tale we get from here on for the next at least 9 years is going to have multiversal fingertip touches on it. So,
And
I mean,
and outside of the multiverse stuff, that's what's happening on Earth. Anything else in the MCU is happening in space. So, like, the logical next step, what we're getting next, what we have to get next, is Galactus.
Yeah. Well, that's a thought. It's definitely a thought.
But yeah, so that was my thoughts. That's my predictions. I think we had some really good ones. I think What If season 1 was fantastic. The comics have always been fun, and season 2 is going to really probably dive into more gritty stories since the MCU as a whole is getting a lot grittier. Overall, I'd give it like an 8 out of 10 just because there were issues, but nothing that deterred me from being excited every week for a new episode.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I feel that I'm in wholehearted agreement on What If. Season 2 looks dope. I think that, like, if they do mix in some Fox and Sony shit, I will be. And even, you know what? I fucking am campaigning for fucking Spider-Man. That's who I want.
Man, they should just give him to us in Across the Spider-Verse. Give us him, give us Ben Reilly. We already got 2099. Like, that would be awesome.
Spider-Man from the show, Amazing Spider, the animated series.
That would be amazing. Like,
yeah,
there is no better on-screen Peter Parker in my mind than the 90s animated series. So I am a full advocate for that.
He's the most accomplished Peter Parker to me too.
Yep.
Fought the most, done the most.
But he's still a fuck up, which is important to the core of Peter Parker.
Mad emotional fan.
Even without the symbiote. But yeah, so I guess that wraps it up for our segment on What If. And from here on out, I guess we should drop a full spoiler warning. We're going to be diving into things that are giant points of the plot of Multiverse of Madness potentially, and potential like actual story components, not just cameos and appearances. So from here on out, spoiler warning. This is all leaked, rumored information, so take any of it with a grain of salt. None of it might be
Leave.
true. All of it might be true.
Leave. If you don't want to be here, leave. The door's that way.
Go watch our
Leave.
other videos. We have stuff on content you have seen already, probably.
Yep, for sure. Yep,
But
definitely. So later.
but yeah, I guess without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so Schumer McGrath is. We've already seen the character on screen. We know he's confirmed for the movie, but we finally got reasoning behind why it was speculated he was Gargantos and not Schumer McGrath. The name
Yeah.
Schumer McGrath is actually owned by the creators of him, which are the creators of Conan the Barbarian. So they fully own the rights to him. So Marvel essentially, so they, I guess, didn't have to pay for rights. I don't know on that front, but they essentially just decided to go with the Namor villain, Gargantos, as the name for Schumer McGrath. And it doesn't really bother me at all. Schumer McGrath is not like a big villain that I often think about, so I don't really have expectations for him. My first
Mhm.
introduction to him was Marvel vs. Capcom, so
Yeah.
there was no story there. But I think that it's just kind of interesting, I guess. But it's also a rumored plot leak that he or the Elder Gods, which he's a part of, or the Many Angled Ones, which is like the group of Elder Gods that he's a part of, it's rumored that
Mhm.
they destroyed America Chavez's universe, and that's
Mm.
why she's here in ours. So that's pretty
Word.
crazy. Tom Cruise, we got plot leaks for what Tom Cruise is up to and what his Iron Man's about. He is definitely based around Superior Iron Man from the comics. He's going to have the white armor, and
Mhm.
he essentially shows up with his Iron Legion or Ultron drones or whatever you want to call them. And like he
What?
did succeed at putting his suit of armor around the world. Uh, It's they describe him in the plot leaks as a cutthroat billionaire who would be our Tony Stark if he never changed his ways. That
What?
that
Can you do?
sounds like
Or
Ironmonger, but not a fucking fool. That
can
sounds
you repeat that one more time? That was just mind blowing. Can you redo the Tony Stark one more time, babe? Listen to this.
okay. So the leaks describe him as a cutthroat billionaire who would be our Tony Stark if he'd never changed his ways.
White armor.
White armor, Iron Legion, Ultron drones, like it's a lot. And then apparently it's revealed that he has Thanos' head preserved in a Futurama jar full of liquid and shit. And he keeps it as like a trophy of respect for a fallen fucking enemy. Uh and then
Awesome.
at one point the chest of the armor opens up and we see 3 Infinity Stones in his chest.
What?
What the fuck? Uh And
Oh
it
fuck.
also says that he has a number of powerful artifacts. So like
Yeah.
that that implies to me that it's more than just the Infinity Stones too.
Think he has Mjolnir?
I don't know. I don't think he'd be worthy to carry Mjolnir, but Stormbreaker does not have the same oath on it.
It doesn't.
Nope, anyone can pick up Stormbreaker.
So do you think the Avengers are alive in Tony's universe?
Okay, so that gets me to my last plot leak of the that scene. It's
Yeah.
apparent. It's in the leaks. It says Steve Rogers is on screen giving a presentation as the president of the United States. If
They showed that.
in What If when the Watcher was fighting Ultron, and
Yeah.
I'm thinking that might have been the same fucking universe. That would have been that's a really cool way to sprinkle in a
What?
little Easter eggs for later. And like, mind you, in the Watcher versus Ultron fight in What If,
Yeah.
uh, 2 of the universes they break through are borderline confirmed to be from Star Wars. The forest planet that they wipe out when they're fighting is it looks exactly like Felucia, which is like that's where the Rancors are from, there and another planet. But and then Mustafar, the lava planet where Darth Vader or Anakin and Obi-Wan fight. To the
Yep.
to the
Vader has
details that it even has like a temple there, which would be Vader's fucking base.
his.
Insane. What if did some crazy stuff, and if that's like the same universe. That was such a fucking good foreshadowing.
So wait, are they trying to say that they're gonna mix my Star Wars and my Marvel?
I hope not, but also in the comics, the Star Wars comics are owned by Marvel.
Dude, and they're both owned by Disney. I gotta tell you, I would not mind seeing a fucking in Doctor Strange a portal just be open and somebody start to get fucking force choked out of that motherfucker by Vader, but he
Bro,
closes it.
do you watch Parks and Recreation?
I don't actually.
Bro, there's an
My
episode where Patton Oswalt, he's a character on it, and he's trying to start a filibuster at this fucking town hall meeting, and
yeah,
he fucking describes a fake fucking movie script that he wrote that one describes half the events of Book of Boba, the new series that's out right now, and this was
yeah.
in 2012 that this episode dropped, and
Wow.
this was before Disney bought Marvel. It talked about Star Wars and Marvel crossing over, and like at one point it talks about like Wookiees fighting and fucking Boba Fett fighting Darth Vader on fucking or in New York and shit, and then like it brings up so much shit that like is an option for the fucking future of Disney movies. Like it was crazy. It was Matt Groening level future prediction.
Like imagine that, bro. Strange, a multiverse portal opens or gets punched open by America Chavez on accident, and fucking Vader steps through, but it's in the middle of Times Square, bro. And a fucking bus almost hits him, and he fucking throws it like, oh
That'd
my
be
god.
so sick. Like it would be so left field, and I wouldn't know. Fans wouldn't know what to do with themselves, bro. That would be like such a controversial thing. Some people would hate it, but some people would fucking love it. And I, for one, yet again, being a Kevin Feige MCU Marvel stan, they can do no wrong. I'd take it.
You know what? Give me 30 seconds of your time. So check it out, right? It's like fucking 9:30 at night, Times Square. It's pitch black, all lit up and shit like that. The portal opens up, same scene. Vader steps through, bus, boom, throws it, right? Or he just moves it to the side. He doesn't even throw it. Somebody comes up to him and grabs his shoulder, right? He turns all the fucking lights out. All you see is the fucking straight light, almost like Rogue One when the lightsaber lights up, and he just starts slaughtering men, women, and children in the middle of fucking Times Square, bro. That would be awesome.
Man, yeah, that would be crazy. Like, please, can we get that now? I don't necessarily think they should do it in like a mainline MCU, but what if?
Yeah,
Give it to us in what if, man.
that's what I mean. Like I'm so cool with it. Or even if it doesn't even get crossed into my Marvel, just give me that story somehow.
For real. All right.
Multiverse.
So we got more plot leaks. We got a lot more plot leaks, actually. We're going to dive
Yeah.
into some cool shit. All right. So Tom Cruise, Tony Stark, is essentially going to arrest Doctor Strange and take him to the Illuminati. So we have a list of the members of the Illuminati for this movie.
Yeah.
Leaked, of course. I'll keep saying that. Patrick Stewart as Professor Xavier and Ian McKellen as Magneto.
Okay.
Ian Gifford, I'm probably mispronouncing the name, but Reed from the older Fantastic Four movies. Tom Cruise Iron Man, Black Bolt, a variant version played by the same actor as the Inhumans show.
Hmm.
A Mordo variant where he's actually the Sorcerer Supreme of his universe.
Oh fuck.
Right, and I'm thinking that's Dreadlock Mordo.
Yeah.
And Bruce Banner. No confirmation on what kind of Bruce Banner it is. I'm thinking it might just be our universe's Mark Ruffalo.
Doubt it.
Monica Rambeau, which is that what she got hired for at the end of fucking WandaVision then?
Maybe.
I thought it was Sword, but if Monica's part of the Illuminati, that's kind of weird, and I don't hate it. I love Tiana Paris as Monica. I
Yeah.
hate Monica in the comics, and WandaVision made that character for me. Oh man. And top 3 baddest females in the MCU. But so and then finally the last member, Bruce Campbell,
Yeah.
It's a Sam Raimi movie, so it has to be Bruce Campbell playing
Nice.
Balder the Brave, the Asgardian half-brother of Thor.
What?
Like, what the fuck? And like, I think he's kind of like that ancient magical replacement since Namor for some reason isn't part of it.
Yeah.
And it kind of feels like they're mixing the Defenders and the Illuminati together. And that's why Bruce Banner's a part of it. He's part of the original Defenders team in the comics. But
Huh.
Namor is part of both of the original lineups of the Illuminati and the Defenders, and he's just
Yeah.
not here. So that's weird to me. But that is
Fixating
a
them.
super different Illuminati lineup than we've ever seen before. And
Yeah.
it's kind of cool, honestly. Magneto has never been a part of the Illuminati in the comics. That's such a good fit in or in at least the Foxverse. He was
Yeah.
the only person to ever fully rival Xavier for like 50 fucking years. So that makes
So
sense to me.
I have a request for Roach Boy's Comic Corner. Can you, in a future episode, cover the Illuminati?
Gladly. I want to do that, and I want to do an episode about the Cabal. It's like a villain-formed counter to the Illuminati. It has like
Hmm.
people like the Kingpin and shit in it.
What?
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a cool team. Also, Namor was a part of that and got kicked out. Uh, he's a turncoat son of a bitch, that's for sure.
Jesus.
But so we're gonna get into some Wanda kill counts of who she's gonna be killing in this fucking movie, and the universes she's gonna be killing in this movie. Get ready for
Let's do it.
that. So
Do it.
she Wanda kills Mordo. We don't know what kind of Mordo at all. Probably Sorcerer Supreme Mordo. She's going to kill all four members of the Fantastic Four from the Fox universe. No! Sorry. Alright, I'm gonna repeat that because my phone just tried to update on me. But yeah, so she kills Mordo, not confirmed what kind of Mordo, probably Sorcerer Supreme. She kills all four members of the Fantastic Four, starting with Johnny off screen apparently, and apparently Thing has no lines from Michael Chiklis and is killed pretty easily by her.
Yeah.
The OG X-Men team of Cyclops, James Marsden, Storm, Halle Berry, Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, and Jean Grey, Femke Janssen.
No.
And
No.
in a separate scene, she's going to kill members of the Illuminati, Professor Xavier, and fucking Magneto.
What?
On top of that, she's going to destroy 3 universes confirmed, at least confirmed in leaks, but a variant version of the MCU, which is probably Mordo's original universe, which was apparently destroyed by Doctor Strange. That's why he is the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah.
She's going to destroy the Fantastic Four verse, and she's going to destroy the Fox X-Men universe.
Wow.
On top of that, we saw on Amazon merchandise for the movie and like in certain leaks and stuff, there's a new Avengers logo. So that makes me think that this next leak that I'm getting into might be true because it sets up like a multiversal Avengers team very heavily. So
I'm
so for the final battle, there is
Yeah.
a lot of cameos, a lot of new ones, a lot of old ones, a lot of reworks of different cameos. And on top of the like Doctor Strange, America Chavez, Wong, all the main members of the team that are going to be in the movie, we have
Yeah.
John Krasinski and Emily Blunt as the MCU's Reed and Sue. A lot of the leaks are saying that they actually are the MCU's and not the Illuminati version. Please,
Yeah.
please, I will do most things for that to happen.
Yeah.
Deadpool, potentially with Cable. We got confirmation recently that Josh Brolin has been signed on back in the MCU for 2 roles. One, I
Yeah.
can almost guarantee is Thanos for flashbacks with Star Fox in Eternals 2. And
Yeah.
the other one, please let it be Cable. He was about as comic accurate as anyone's ever going to be in a fucking comic book movie. Like, he was great. I loved him as Cable. So, next up after that, Ed Norton's Hawk. Not Bruce Banner, just him as the Hawk. Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider is gonna show up for a scene where it's Nicolas Cage's face and it turns into the flames. Uh,
But
Liam Hemsworth, brother of Chris Hemsworth, playing a variant of Thor.
what the fuck?
That is going to be hilarious. I love that idea. Tobey Maguire, non-speaking role.
Yeah,
All right, here's a cool one. Fucking Punisher is confirmed for these leaks, but he's gonna be in the comics. He wears the War Machine armor in one of the universes and has like a
yeah,
skull painted on the helmet and like a skull on the chest and stuff. And we got that confirmed that War Machine or Punisher, whatever you want to call him, he's gonna be in the movie. Uh, no confirmation on actor. I would take either Warzone or John Bernthal because the Warzone Punisher feels like he would fit better in the armor, but
yeah.
John Bernthal I just want as the Punisher for the MCU, so that's a little
Yeah,
personal bias on my part. But
that would be.
continuing on is the Agents of Shield cast apparently makes a background appearance in the final battle scene, which that would be kind of cool. Get a little confirmation there, I guess. But a lot of stuff in the MCU has also retconned that or retconned
Yeah,
Agents of Shield, so it kind of would be weird.
Make-
But multiverse, anything's possible.
yeah, yeah. That could be that other variant MCU.
Facts. That would be crazy. Just wipe
Yeah,
out the TV universes one by one. But and,
awesome.
and then the final cameo, but definitely the biggest. A lot of these leaks are saying Robert Downey, Tony Stark, is going to be back as a variant from the Dead Universe who essentially, well, spoiler for plot details, even though we're deep into them. Fucking, it's apparently Doctor Strange's fault that the multiverse is fucked up because of
Yeah.
him altering things in the events of Infinity War and Endgame. Like,
Well,
he essentially changed things so Tony Stark would know that what he has to do to fucking beat Thanos. And
yeah,
apparently that's going to be like a big plot point is him fucking mulling over and hating the fact that it's all his fault. And
yeah,
essentially Robert Downey, Tony Stark will be there to confirm like you're good, bro. It's not your fault. You're the hero. You're doing all this to fix it. And even if it is your fault, like we all make mistakes. So it'll be
yeah,
like a closure between the two characters together. And
yeah.
that'd be kind of cool. I'd be cool with that as long as it's not our Tony Stark.
Yeah. So wait, does this Tony go back to his dead universe or what? Did he
I
stay?
I hope so. Like I don't think we I mean Robert Downey would be smart to sign on for more movies, but
Yeah,
we got to move past Iron Man for a little bit, I feel.
yeah.
But
So Tony, but no Iron Man.
we don't know. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's just confirmed that it's Robert Downey. Well, not confirmed, but I keep saying that. But
yeah. That's the
fucking,
leak.
but yeah, that's actually about it for the leaks. We also talked about on a previous episode about how one of the rumored endings for the movie is Kang coming and handling Doctor Strange and imprisoning him, which would
Yeah,
be good setup for Ant-Man 3. So overall, we've gotten if all these leaks are right, we've gotten the whole movie pretty much leaked right now.
yeah,
And it just makes me more excited. I'm excited to see all these old actors come back as their characters. I'm excited
yeah,
to see the Illuminati. Like, a new Avengers team finally is hopefully going to be formed at the end of this.
yeah. For sure.
Yeah,
I think.
I'm super excited for the future. And I don't know.
Yeah.
After I just dropped all these leaks for you, uh, how do you feel about them? What do you think is like the most viable? What do you think is definitely bullshit? And how exciting are these fucking rumors?
I'm going to say I hope they are all viable. I hope none of them are bullshit, except just the handily killing Jean Grey thing. I feel like there's a moment to be had there, and if they don't take the time to have that moment, I don't see why we're doing it at all. But
Yeah.
I trust Feige to do the right thing, and maybe these leaks are just real bare minimum. But yeah, I think they'll have the moment. I'm very excited. I think that this could be the most ambitious Marvel movie to date, and it's going to blow No Way Home out of the water. And I knew we said this pre No Way Home that like we're going to be a week after Multiverse of Madness talking about that movie like No Way Home never happened. And like I don't know, I'm just excited, and I think that these are going to be a long 4 months.
Definitely are. But like also with getting like crazy leaks like this already, like what are we gonna get for the next 4 months? There has to be more. Like
Another feeling
there's no
sometimes.
way the fans picked out everything already and like including the plot leaks for reshoots. Like there's no
Yeah,
way. So like I'm just excited. I'm excited for the journey to get to the movie as much as I'm excited for the movie.
yeah.
Us asking and dealing with all these questions and all this speculation is fun, but eventually I am excited for those answers on what is it, May 6th. May 6th, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness.
I wonder if she'll like go to the Sonyverse.
Go to what?
I wonder if Wanda will pop up in Sonyverse briefly too.
I mean, I would love that, and it would make sense if that happened so that the Tobey Maguire cameo at the end of the movie was more relevant.
Yeah.
My personal hope would be that she goes to the actual 616 comic universe. That would be insane.
That would definitely be different. I'm very interested to see what happens, but you said the date. Can you say it one more time for
May 6th.
May?
Let's hope that theaters stay open and stuff and nothing crazy goes down so that we can all go see that on the big screen.
Fingers?
No more delays. We're so excited. We're ready for this movie. Reshoots are done. There's no more reasons to fucking delay it. Give
Yep.
us Multiverse of Madness.
Let's fucking get it.
But with that, I feel like that wraps up our last segment pretty much.
It definitely does. So we got some episodes coming this week. We already have covered that previously. Just tune into the channel, tune into Facebook, and yeah, it's going to be on the official Pages, Pictures, and Panels page on Facebook, on the Roach Boy Red channel on YouTube, and on our personal channels, Logan Lentz. Until the end. But until then, I'm your host, till the end, with my co-host, Roach Boy Red. You're this way, right? You're this way.
This way.
You're this way.
Yeah. But, all right, guys. See you later.